Hey folks, we're back here again at Hauntworld YouTube page. Make sure you like and subscribe our page. We're not trying to become famous YouTubers. We're just trying to help the haunted house industry today and also show you a lot of really cool things that happened in the past. This next video is called How to Create Your Own Haunted House Part 3. So these were made at the Old Darkness Haunted House next door. These are the first haunted house videos that were ever made in the haunted house industry. So there was literally me and 2 or 3 others that were all kind of making them at the same time. And I don't remember, we might have been the first ones to make them outside of Dr. John, but who knows? I mean, they're all from the mid-90s. And this one's called How to Create Your Own Haunted House Part 3. I would love to hear your comments for you to tell me, like, out of the, the suggestions that we made back in, I think this movie was probably made in like 1998, 1999, that you think still apply today. So anyway, get ready to watch How to Create Your Own Haunted House Part 3. And by the time you've watched all these Hauntworld movies and everything else, I really feel like you're going to completely know how to build your own haunted house before it's all said and done.
You've joined us again for How to Create Your Own Haunted House, Part 3. Since our last tape, our haunted house has grown more than you can imagine, not only by attendance, but in massive size. We turned our haunted house into more of a theme park. We had a carnival in the back. We had 13 holes of bar golf, and no one survived the 13th hole. We had a horror and science fiction museum. We had our own karaoke stage. We have illusionists, and of course, we had our all-new 3D movie theater. It was a haunting hit. We did over 50,000 people last year. Now, hopefully, with this tape, you will be able to have some of the success and maybe pick up a few things here and there that will help you and your haunted attraction for next season. And by the way, last year, we had Linda Blair by for a visit to our haunted attraction. I highly recommend Linda Blair. She has a lot of fans and she works very well with the media. Now, on with How to Create Your Own Haunted House Part 3. The first thing we're going to do in How to Create Your Own Haunted House Part 3, we're going to show you some news clips from the Darkness Haunted Theme Park of 1996. Let's take a look.
The calendar says it's now August, but Halloween is in the air down in Soulard.
A haunted theme park is currently hiring St. Louisans to help put the scare in Halloween. As Christine Buck reports, organizers expect about 100,000 people to pass through the doors of the theme park that takes Halloween very seriously.
This is not a summer school class. However, these folks are learning how to scare people.
I want everybody to scream.
Welcome to the darkness. We're gonna scare you!
The Darkness Haunted House is currently hiring about 75 people to work in its theme park that has everything scary that you can think of from A to Z. It's over 100,000 square feet located in the Welsh Factory in Soulard. And you don't have to wait for Halloween. This theme park opens August 30th and runs until November 2nd.
We have a haunted movie theater. We'll be showing the worst horror movies of all time, like Plan 9 from Outer Space. We'll have an arcade. We'll have stage shows with magicians and celebrities. We're bringing in Linda Blair on Friday the 13th.
Halloween Productions Incorporated, based in St. Louis, builds haunted houses all over the world. This one is the largest indoor haunted attraction in the country. It's been a work in progress since December 1st at a cost of $500,000.
See, we have like over 20 animations, like animatronics and things like that we've built. I mean, we could literally run the thing with no actors. There's so many things moving.
So by now we're just about halfway through.
We're about halfway through, and you've still got the best part to come.
How long does it take?
It takes 48 minutes.
In addition to this haunted house and indoor activities, there will be an outdoor carnival and lots of things for younger kids or the faint of heart.
Run now.
It costs $13 to get into the theme park. The coupons are available through the many St. Louis sponsors supporting this Halloween extravaganza.
We're trying to expand it into a secret that St. Louis will all know about.
Christine Buck, St. Louis 11 News.
If you want to audition or learn more about the Darkness Haunted Theme Park, here's the number to call. It's 231-8822. That's 231-8822.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. Baseball may have this city on the edge of their seats, but this place behind me will have you jumping out of them. We're going to show you the Darkness Haunted Theme Park next.
Well, there are two types of screams in St. Louis this week. That's one of them. And then there are screams of excitement at the Cardinal games.
That's right. The first one was the scream of terror, and you'll have that scream if you go to the Darkness Haunted Park. Dan Buck's voice is hoarse from screaming at both. He joins us live from Soulard's Haunted Park.
That's right. Forgive the rough voice. A few too many screams and hollers last night. Probably more coming tonight. But 30,000 people over the past month have been coming here to scream and shout, not for Cardinal excitement, but for fear, folks. This place is an old baby carriage, the Welsh Baby Factory, and it has been transformed into the Darkness Haunted Theme Park. It is much more than just a haunted house.
Greetings, creeps. It's your old pal, the Crypt Keeper. And it's Halloween, boils and ghouls, my favorite horror day.
After a ghoulish greeting, you can wander through the Science Fiction Museum. The legends of fright from Freddy to alien fangs. It is the Hall of Horror. After the Gallery of Ghouls, you next can play 13 Holes of Horror, where the gallery is a rough crowd. Yes, this is hardly normal golf, and don't ax about the rules, because here, anything goes. Hey, that's cheating. You... Okay, you can do it. After your gruesome game of putt-putt golf, it's then time to take in a movie. But you can't go to a movie without some popcorn. Let's see that scary flick. Okay, so maybe the movie lineup consists of some bad B movies. It's the scenery you'll enjoy. Hey, sit down! Sit down in front! Sit! Popcorn? Want some popcorn? You want some popcorn? Hey guys, look! It's Elvira! Saved by the Mistress of the Dark. It's now obvious this is not merely a haunted house. It is a fear factory. Hey, go easy on this thing. You're gonna tilt it.
She likes it, Ralph.
Even while waiting in line for the haunted halls, you are entertained by an illusionist. Visitors are even allowed to grab a mic on the Darkness stage and sing a little scarioke.
Normal haunted house, you buy a ticket, you go through and you leave. Here, we get you here and we keep you here forever.
Now, we've seen everything but the haunted house, and it sounds like they're calling for us.
They want you, Dan. They want you bad.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. It is obvious here to expect the unexpected.
You're gonna die in there! Come on! Target! Darkness! Death, doom, and despair awaits you at the end of my tunnel. You will all die tonight in the darkness.
Oh, a scary place indeed, the Darkness Haunted Theme Park. It is here at the old Welsh Baby Carriage Factory. I might have said a baby factory. Boy, wouldn't that be interesting, guys. It's in Soulard, Missouri, just outside downtown. It's open 7 days a week. Now, Monday through Thursday, it's 6 p.m. to 11, Friday, 6 to 1. Saturday, they have matinee on both Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5 o'clock. Then they're open in the evening again from 6 to 1 and 6 to 11 on Sunday. $13 the regular admission. Those matinees are only $8 and $7 for kids that are 12 and under, folks. They also have Halloween costumes for sale. Johnny Brock's has a big outlet out in front here, and plus you see the haunted rides behind us. So while you're waiting in line, it's not really like waiting because you can take in a lot of the amusement park. And of course, the Johnny Brock and the Dungeon hearse is here. We have a victim back here in the back, and we're going to go downtown right now and pick up some more because we understand there's a bunch of Braves down there who need to be taken home.
I think the people in your story were from the Braves section of Busch Stadium.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
Dan. Have fun.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye, Nancy.
Let's check the calendar. It is August 27th,
I
isn't
think
it?
you're right. A nice late summer evening. So is it time for this already?
There's aliens everywhere!
It's billed as the biggest Halloween event of the century, the Darkness Haunted Theme Park, opening in Soulard tonight. It's got the 13 Holes of Horror mini golf course, a 3D haunted movie theater, a science fiction and horror museum, and the Darkness Arcade, all inside what's called the best haunted house in St. Louis.
Well, it's become a big, big business. Yeah, it really has.
All right, tonight and tomorrow you have a chance to meet a really big movie star and TV star who I'm told was born right here in St. Louis. Actress Linda Blair joins me right now. You're going to be at Johnny Brock's. You're also going to be at the Darkness Haunted Theme Park. You're going to be signing autographs. This is really exciting, and you're from St. Louis.
I was born in St. Louis.
Nobody knows that except for me.
Not many people do. So that's why when they invited me to come, I said, you know what? I would love to come.
But you left here at age 2.
I did.
And you went
Well, Mom and Dad took me. There was nothing I could do, really. I fought all the way.
But if you had stayed, you probably never would have been in that movie that everybody talks about, which you're probably sick of by now, The Exorcist.
Well, I probably wouldn't have been in it. You're probably right.
Sure.
What's kind of funny about it is because I was born here in St. Louis, and I'm the 3rd child. I was born on 123 Hollywood Lane, and the story is that the boy was from St. Louis.
Yeah, that's right, The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And that house on Hollywood Lane just went up in price.
That's right. I know. I feel so sorry for the family because I have mentioned it a few times, and they're going to be like, who are you people standing outside our door?
Well, you know, we have a lot in common. In fact, I was practicing it last night. The head spinning thing.
Can
we take a look at that? I have that on tape. See right there? Now, I learned that from you in The Exorcist.
Did you, that tongue action, what the heck? Oh my
All right,
God.
that's shameless. But don't you get tired of talking about The Exorcist?
You know, people ask me that, and I think that it's kind of like this. There's 2 ways to deal with it. One is that you say, I really don't want to talk about that. That was in the past, which is the way most people are. Or you say, look, it's something people are going to ask me about for the rest of my life, and it gave me the launching pad to do a lot of things with my life that I wouldn't have been able to do. There were definitely some difficult times that went with it, but overall, the positive is much better than the negative.
Yeah, you're going to be on September 20th at 8 o'clock on Renegade. That's a
Yay!
Yeah, that's a big TV show.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Lamas is a friend of mine over the years, and they offered me to come down, and I said, you know what, why not? The only thing was I had to learn how to ride a Harley. They weigh 600 pounds.
Yeah, they weigh a lot.
Yeah.
And you also wanted to be a veterinarian when you were growing up. Debbie Turner is a veterinarian. She's my co-host.
That's
not here
right.
Today.
I didn't know she was a veterinarian.
Yeah,
I
she's
can
probably
talk.
a vet too, for all I know. But you have a cause that you wanted to talk about. It's pet theft awareness.
Yes, my dog was stolen about 12 years ago, and I've been very involved with the issue of pet theft. And I went by the books. I did everything the right way. I met with the USDA on a couple occasions. They explained what the situations they needed to. So anyway, I see you wrapping me up. I'll talk quicker. Anyway, I developed a calendar called Animals and Their Celebrities for Pet Theft Awareness. And it's to stop pets from being stolen, as was mine, and sold into medical research, and everyone in America agrees. So I'm reaching out to the public, and the calendars are available. I'm sure maybe here at the station they can take the address.
That's great.
And it's $15 donation to Last Chance for Animals.
Let people know. And the reason I was wrapping up, I also want to tell people how they have a chance to see you.
Thank you.
We've got some information. You are going to be tonight at Johnny Brock's, Sunset Hills, 5 o'clock to 7 p.m. And the Darkness Haunted Theme Park, you're going to be there tomorrow as well. So you'll be handing out these really nifty little pictures, and you'll be signing them.
That's right. And all the proceeds go to Last Chance for Animals.
That's great. Linda, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we've got a...
That was a look at some of the media that was covered over the Darkness Haunted Theme Park of 1996. Later on in this show, we're going to talk about the Darkness Haunted Theme Park 1997. But before we get to that, I'm going to give you my 13 tips to haunting success. Follow these rules and you can't fail. Now, the 13 biggest tips to haunting success. Please follow them closely and you may be as successful as we are and maybe even more successful. I've ranked them backwards, 13 through 1. Of course, number 1 being the most important tip to haunting success. Number 13 is insurance. Don't be caught dead without insurance. Give yourself peace of mind. Even if you're right and he's wrong, the legal fees will eat you alive. So this is the 13th most important part to haunting success. Number 12 to haunting success is growth. If you have a 20,000 square foot space, don't build a 20,000 square foot haunted house your first year. Build it smaller. Give yourself room to grow. If you have $100,000 to spend on your haunted attraction, think of how well of a haunted house you could build in 10,000 square feet. Think of the detail and the scenes that you could build in a smaller area. And then next year, advertise bigger and better, the all-new haunted house. So give yourself room to grow. That is number 12. The number 11 most important tip is theming. Make sure that you have a theme that people are going to buy into. Remember, your advertising will reflect your theme. And if your theme is stupid, no one's going to come out to your attraction. So make sure you pick the right theme and story to fit your advertising needs. And number 10 is budget. Make sure you think of everything before you even put one nail in one board. Don't leave yourself hanging by a rope. A haunted house is not a $10,000 or $20,000 venture. It can cost up to $300,000 to $400,000, $500,000. Don't get yourself in trouble. Make sure you plan very carefully your budget, and make sure that you have enough operating expenses to see you through, win or lose, through the whole season. That is a very important tip. Number 9 is quality over quantity. Don't think big, think smaller. If you have a smaller attraction, you can keep control over the situation better. You can cut your costs on labor, and you can spend your bigger budget on a smaller area and get more bang for the buck. Let me give you a quick example. About 7 or 8 years ago, I ran a haunted house called House on Haunted Hill. It was only about 3,000 square feet, but we had about 10 actors, and they were insane. They loved scaring every customer. Now here in the Darkness Haunted House, as I'm sure with most haunted houses, the bigger you get, the harder they are to control. And you can't get 30 or 40 good actors, but you can definitely get 10 good ones. Think smaller, think quality over quantity. Just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's better. Number 8 is very important to haunted success. It's your product. It's what you have to offer the public. When you get on the radio and you say, your haunted house is the biggest, best, most scariest haunted house, make sure you live up to it. Because word of mouth is by far the best form of advertising. And if you don't have the product, you'll sink like the Titanic. Number 7 is motivated staff. The smaller the staff, as I've already said, is a better staff because they'll stick together better, they'll work together, they'll know each other. Now, but even if you have a bigger staff or a smaller staff, you've got to keep your crew motivated. The Halloween season can drag on for a long time, even if it's only 30 or 40 days. You've got to keep them motivated. Ask the radio stations for free CDs and concert tickets, and give your actors something to look forward to. Have contests and things like this, because the customer will notice if your scares aren't there, because the actors are not motivated. Number 6 is scares. You want people running out of your haunted house screaming to death, but not screaming from injuries. Never, and I mean never, sacrifice safety for scares. Number 5 is promotion. There are 3 parts to marketing a haunted house. Promotion is by far the least important, but still important all the same. Promotion are the things that you do to create a little extra attention for yourself, like delivering your flyers to a school in a hearse, or having a Coca-Cola night where they'll get in cheaper one night. Promotions are important, but not as important as the other aspects of marketing. But never, never forget, promotions can make the difference to some people, just like some people won't buy a certain product without a coupon or a special promotion or a sale. You've got to do promotions. The 4th most important aspect to haunting success is marketing. Marketing is what you pay for out of your own pocket. So it's very, very important that you choose the radio stations and TV stations and such very importantly. Now, the most common mistake I see made by most entrepreneurs is that they go out there and they place a lot of radio on stations that they listen to. Well, maybe your customers don't listen to the same radio station you do. You've got to check into every aspect that is available to you. Talk to people, listen to people, ask teenagers what they listen to and what they do, and choose where you spend your money very wisely. The 3rd most important tip is a logo. You would think, how could a logo be that important? Well, it is. Let me give you an example. I just visited several haunted houses last season. I saw one of the best haunted houses I've ever seen, and he only did 25,000 people. He had terrible advertising and by far the worst logo I've ever seen. Now, his attraction was awesome, and he put a lot of time and effort into his attraction, but he put no thought into his logo. People are not going to know how good your haunted house is until they get there. So, the image that you put out to the public is what they're going to perceive your quality to be. So if your logo is junky, then they're going to think your haunted house is junky. Keep that in mind when you're designing and constructing your haunted house. Not to forget, have an awesome logo. The second most important tip is operating money. We sort of touched on it a little earlier when we were talking about the budget. But let me tell you, operating money is very, very crucial. Your haunted attraction may start off slow, and if you don't have the proper amount of funds in the bank to cover the advertising, then you just might as well wrap it up. You've got to have sufficient funds to continue all the way to the end, because if you don't, if you can't keep the radio and the advertising going, there is no chance to pull it around. So make sure that you are able to fund your advertising all the way through. Now, the number one most important tip to haunting success, and this is number one without bullet, is publicity. Publicity is what you get for free. You can advertise until your customers are green in the gills. It won't make a bit of difference, because the haunted house next door that's getting all the TV press is going to do 3 times as many people as you, even if your haunted attraction is better and better funded, because people put 2 and 2 together. You put your advertising and all the hype together with the free publicity, and that is what will launch you into haunting history. And that is my number one most important aspect of haunting success, publicity. The next thing we're going to talk about in how to create your own haunted house part 3 is extra revenue sources. Let's make the bottom line look a little scarier at the end of the season. Everybody sells glow necklaces in the line. It's very, very important that you do not overlook this aspect. You could probably add $10,000 to $20,000 to your bottom line at the end of the season. But why stop at glow necklaces? When you're at the ballpark watching a baseball game, they've got people coming up to you trying to sell you sodas, peanuts, cotton candy, and all kinds of other things. Now what if you did the same thing? Had a spook dress up and walk up and down the line and sell sodas and candy and peanuts and cotton candy and glow necklaces. This could really add to the bottom line at the end of the season. And you know what? You could probably go to a soda company and say, hey, we'll sell your sodas up and down our line. We'll sell hundreds of them. What will you do for us? Another revenue stream you might be able to tap into, which all depends on how big your attraction is a carnival. Last year, we added a huge carnival to our attraction in the back. Not only did we make extra revenue off the carnival, but it attracted tons of attention from the highway. The carnival was very successful. Another revenue stream you should look into is retail. There's 3 things you have to know about retail if you're even going to attempt to do it. What to sell, what not to sell, and how to sell it. What you want to sell are smaller things like little bugs and cockroaches. You know, little rubber things like eyeballs, fangs, things like this, blood, makeup, maybe a few masks, but nothing really expensive. So obviously, things you don't want to sell are huge items like masks and costumes, because they won't sell that well at a haunted house. Now, how to sell it? Put your retail store at the end of the attraction. Make people walk right through the middle of it. This will get a lot of interest from your customers, and this is where you want to put your souvenirs, your t-shirts and hats and things like this. Now remember, the better your attraction was, the more willing the customer will be to buy it. Now we're going to talk about how to make the difference between an average haunted house and an awesome haunted house. I'm going to give you 9 tips to really separate yourself from the rest of the pack.
The first tip that really make the difference are scary wall portraits. These portraits that you are seeing here, we actually make and sell. We hand paint and frame each scary wall portrait we sell. We offer over 10 different themed wall portraits. Each portrait is usually 2 feet by 3 feet. We also offer blacklight portraits where the character in the picture will change into another character. We also can install LED lights in the eyes or flicker bulbs in a candle type portrait. Other wall portraits that we sell are spinning pictures and two-way mirror pictures. Call for all the scary details, but remember, these scary wall portraits can really separate you from the rest of the field.
Number 2 is cobwebs. Cobweb up everything. Women hate cobwebs. They can really make your haunted house look really spooky.
Another thing to make your haunted house better than the rest are these wall sections that we actually sell. We offer 6 different scary wall sections. Each wall section is 4 foot by 8 foot, custom painted to look like a wall in a real haunted house. The top 4 foot would look like a scary wallpaper design. The bottom 4 feet will be painted to look like wood grain. The bottom 4 feet will feature a center wood panel framed in with wood trim and rosettes. If you're not buying these 4x8 sheets from us, make sure that you take your time and paint your walls to look really neat. The days of black walls are out. Paint the floor, the stairs, a bookcase, etc. It all adds up. You can even insert a fake door or fake windows as you see here in this picture. We can do it all. We can do the whole set with the walls or just the walls. But remember, after you get your scary walls in place, and it's time to decorate.
Number 4, build your walls to the ceiling or at least make them 10 foot high. Most haunted houses I've seen have the walls 8 feet high, and you can tell that you're in a fake maze. This will really make the difference. Number 5 is natural rails. And what I mean by that is, instead of having 2x4s block your customers away from the scene, put them in the scene and put a couch or a chair to block their way from getting in the scene so the customer feels like they're in a real haunted attraction. Another great thing to make your haunted house look real is a fireplace. Keep you warm at night. This really makes the customer think they're in a real haunted attraction, which is what you want them to think. When they walk out at the end, you want them to think everything they experienced was real. A 7th great tip to make your haunted house really stand out is cheesecloth. Dip it in some really dirty water and hang it from everything. But make sure you fireproof it because it does catch on fire. But cheesecloth, when it looks dirty, looks really scary. Our 8th tip is joint compound. Now this would be kind of stretching it because most people aren't even going to see it. But you can take joint compound and smear it over everything. It'll make everything look really old and aged. Really scary. Our next big tip is animations. Of course, it's our last tip because I only said I was going to give you 9. I know you were hoping for 13. But we're going to save those for part 4. But animations are very important because you can't always depend on your actors. But when I say animations, I'm not talking about some cheesy little prop that sits there and talks to you and tell you how scary the haunted house is. That won't scare a flea. What I'm talking about are scaretronics, like the ones that we build. Why don't we take a look at some of the animatronics that we're building here at Halloween Productions?
The first animatronic that we're going to look at is Zombie Arise. This living dead creature waits for his victims to approach before he attacks from behind his tombstone. He will either scare or eat any customer. The zombie pops up an amazing 7 feet when activated. This animatronic comes complete with zombie pop-up prop, cassette tape player, monitor amp, strobe light, and hand-painted tombstone. At the time that we were making this tape, we had no video of this next fearsome creature, the attacking werewolf. This fearsome creature of the night stands an intimidating 8 feet tall. This werewolf was being shipped from the United States to the Amazon until he tried to escape his crate. This animatronic has 4 movements. His body moves up and down, his head moves side to side, each arm moves in a clawing fashion. It comes complete with a cassette tape player, a monitor amp, a strobe light, full-size werewolf with 4 movements, and the Amazon crate. This is the torture wheel. This awesome handcrafted instrument of human torture measures a whopping 8 feet across. This prop is hand painted to perfection. The motorized prop comes complete with cassette tape player, monitor amp, corpse, and rotating torture wheel. The next shot is mummified. This ancient mummy rises to every occasion to scare every customer. He is 6 feet long and sits up when activated by a motion detector. Comes complete with the mummy, glowing eyes, cassette tape player, monitor amp, and you can also purchase this prop with a custom Egyptian stand. This prop is Stretch, another instrument of ancient torture. Features a stretched corpse who appears to be dead until the unsuspecting customer approaches. The corpse will then pop forward, startling anyone who dares investigate. This prop stands an intimidating 8 feet tall and is freestanding. This handcrafted animation comes complete with hand-painted stretch rack, animated corpse, glowing eyes, strobe light, cassette tape player, and a monitor app. This is the Maiden. This instrument of ultimate torture stands over 6 feet tall. This prop can be purchased either animated or non-animated. This animated version, much like the Stretch animation, the corpse in the Maiden will pop out of the Maiden towards a customer. The animated version comes complete with handmade Maiden with real spikes, animated corpse, cassette tape player, monitor amp, and strobe light. The non-animated version comes with the Maiden, the corpse, and sound is extra. This one is Stiffs Awaken. This is a classic scare. A very dead corpse pops out of his casket when your customers approach. This prop comes complete in a deluxe metal casket, animated corpse, glowing eyes, cassette tape player, monitor amp, and strobe light. We also offer an extra animation. We can make the lid open up first before he pops out. This is the Cage. This is one of the best scares you will ever lay your hands on in the history of haunting. It's designed to hang from the ceiling and be tilted down towards your customer. A customer would then set it off with a motion detector, and the corpse attached to the cage bars would descend 3 feet towards your victims. The prop comes complete with cage, animated cage door, corpse, and strobe light. The sound is extra. Basically, on this scare, it appears that the cage that hangs above your customers will fly right into them. It'll drop them right to the floor. The next effect is the falling wall. This effect is simply awesome. The falling wall facade featured in this video is of a barn. The facade falls 4 feet towards your victims and will knock them right off their feet. This animation stands an awesome 11 feet high, but can be custom built for a smaller room. The interior facade can also be customized per customer request. This animation comes complete with exterior facade, custom painting, safety chains, and animation parts. The next is the wheelchair. Picture a very dead old lady sitting at the top of the steps in her old wheelchair. And just when your victims walk into the room, her chair comes flying down the steps. This animation resets itself after each scare and comes complete with the wheelchair animation, lady corpse, cassette tape player, monitor amp, and the staircase itself. The next animation is Hang Me. This animation will scare the shoes off of every customer. You mount this animation from the ceiling and he appears to be simply dead prop with a noose around his neck. That is, until he's approached. When activated, this animation will suddenly drop 3 feet towards the ground, and then will reset himself for the next group. Hang Me comes complete with animated corpse, cassette tape deck, monitor amp, and strobe light. The next animation is the Human Rotisserie. This motorized human oven comes with a baking human. The rotisserie itself is hand-painted to look like a real brick oven. The corpse appears to be glowing, and the coals below him are glowing hot. This prop comes complete with glowing baked human, glowing coals, fluorescent fixture, motorized rotisserie oven, cassette tape deck, and a monitor amp. Halloween Productions can almost animate anything, especially simple pop-ups, which we have several of those to scare any crowd. Just give us a call and we can give you all the scary details.
I hope our Scaretronics didn't scare you away from watching the rest of this tape, because now we're going to give you 4 brand new marketing promotion type tips to draw more people into your haunted attraction. One brand new marketing tip that I'm going to give you is build a hearse. It's not really a new idea, but it's just something that most people don't take the time to do. Buy a hearse, preferably a black one, and paint it with all kinds of scary images on it, and plaster your name all over the thing. Another scary marketing tip is advertising your print media that you do birthday parties during the day on Saturdays and Sundays. That's a great marketing tool, because then you'll get all kinds of little kids running around through your haunted house when you don't normally have anyone there. Let me give you 2 more marketing tips. The third one would be the internet. Put your haunted house on the internet. Put your internet page number down on all your coupons and flyers. Would you like to check our internet page? You can reach us at www.halloweenproductions.com. A fourth and last marketing tip, which we sort of touched on when we talked about birthday parties. Saturdays and Sundays, the movies are packed. They're just jamming them in. And think about it. When you watch a movie, you're watching it in the dark. So why not open your haunted house for special daytime hours on Saturdays and Sundays? You'll be surprised at the results. Now, we're going to show you how to really make the difference in your haunted house. We're going to show you how to make some of these scary walls that we talked about earlier. Now, let's get into the lab and get constructing some scary haunted walls. We're down here in the basement of our warehouse, and what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to turn this ordinary piece of plywood into a wall that looks like it came right out of an old 50s Victorian haunted house. Now, before I show you how to do it, we're going to take a look at some examples of what we're going to try to do with this wall. Let's take a look. Our first example today is something that's one-dimensional. As you can see, this is a regular piece of plywood that runs straight and flat all the way down. The illusion is this is old wallpaper, and this is wood grain down here, and this would be like a 1x3 type of trim that would divide the wallpaper from the wood grain. This is one-dimensional. What we're going to build today is something three-dimensional. So let's take a look at some examples of three-dimensional walls. Now, for our next example, I've asked Barry the bartender to give me a hand with this next example. Now, as you see, this is still with that one-dimensional look. You got the wallpaper, but you have a different type of stencil and a different color. But what's different about this wall than the last one was it's three-dimensional on the bottom. We've cut out these, out of particle board, we've cut out these cubes that look like wood. And we painted them to look like wood grain, and then we've got the 1x3s, actual 1x3s with some trim. And we have these rosettes to divide, to kind of intersect all the pieces. So this is an example of a three-dimensional wall that we're going to try to build today. Now let's look at a couple other ones before we start building the wall. All right, now we're going to look at another wall. As you can see, it's the same look on the bottom, but we got a different look on the top. One of the main ways to make your walls look different is, you know, each room should have its own stencil pattern. As here, you can see we've got a little bat flying out of the moon. And make sure your stencils are unique and that they are kind of, you know, have a Halloweenish feel to it. What's a really neat stencil is you can't really tell what it is unless you focus on it. Like there's like a witch hidden inside the stencil, and that's really neat.
The first thing you want to do is you want to cut your square wood panels to go in the center of the bottom of your wall. The next thing you want to do is you want to turn your saw blade to a 45-degree angle to cut all the sides.
Now we've got our wood panel, we've got our wall. The very first thing that you want to do though, is you want to go ahead and frame it out. And once you've got it framed out, then you're going to place this piece.
After you've cut your wood panel, the next step is to cut your wood trim and screw it on. And then to add that decorative touch, you can put the rosettes in the corners of your board. And then you want to screw on your wood panel. Make sure you get it even, right in the center.
Now, thanks to Gary and Paul, we've got our finished wall, okay? The very next step you want to do is you want to base it out. The reason you want to base it out, you want to put like an orangey color on it or a white color, because the paint, the first coat will seal in the grain of the wood, and then the actual paint that you want to paint onto the wood will actually stick out a little bit better.
Your next step is to actually design your wallpaper. And then you want to take a piece of plastic, stick it over your design, and cut it out. Then once you have your stencil, you want to glue it onto the wall like this. And then you want to spray it on. Normally we use an airbrush, but not knowing whether or not you have an airbrush, we're using spray paint. Now, on the wood trim, you want to base the whole thing out in a brownish color. And then you want to go back in with a darker brown and lay stripes on it. Normally when we do these a lot more decorative, a lot more artistic, but we're trying to give you the simplest way to do this. And the next step could be to age the wall, and hopefully your walls will come out looking like this.
Some of the things that have already showed you is our lighting and our animations. Another thing that we have to offer is an illusion. We here at Halloween Productions have designed a ghost illusion where your customers will walk up on what they think is a dead corpse in a coffin, but then his spirit will rise up out of his body and talk to your customers. Call us for more ghostly details on our ghost illusion. Another thing that we offer here is scenes, such as these that we're showing you now. Halloween Productions builds, constructs, and paints some of the most elaborate scenes you will ever find anywhere in the country. We can build these scenes for you. Or you can call us and tell us what kind of scenes you're looking for. Give us your imagination. We'll construct it and ship it to you. This year, Halloween Productions is also offering mobile haunted house units in 3 different sizes: 1,350 square feet, 2,400 square feet, and 4,000 square feet. We have several different themes to choose from, like a haunted mansion, a haunted crypt, a haunted opera house, to a haunted asylum. Or you could choose the theme and we'll build it for you. Let's take a look.
Halloween Productions mobile walk-through haunted house units come in 3 different themes: the haunted crypt, the haunted asylum, and the haunted mansion. Custom units are also available. Each themed attraction is available in 1,350, 2,400, or 4,000 square foot sizes. This is a sketch to scale of the 4,000 square foot haunted mansion, which comes complete with this eerie facade and matching front sidewalls. All mobile units are designed for portable use in specifically sized tents, but can also be installed in a mall or any indoor facility. Mobile walk-through haunted houses come complete with Halloween Productions wall system, indoor-outdoor carpet, fog system, professional lighting, sound system, professional painting, elaborate scenes, props, costumes and masks, artwork, marketing and operation assistance, fire extinguishers, installation instructions, assembly materials, and on-location installation assistance. All units can be fully assembled on-site by Halloween Productions Incorporated for an additional fee. Call for the scary details.
If you want more information on the haunted house units, please call us and we'll send you the catalogs. Another haunted item that we're offering this year is probably one of the cheapest effects you will ever buy in your whole life. It's called a flasher disc. You simply drop it in to your light fixture. You take your color ball, you screw it in, and voila, you have a blinking light. Isn't that neat? It's perfect for that haunted illusion. Another thing that we're offering this year are fully painted models of horror figures and science fiction figures. These are perfect for a horror museum. We can offer these to you fully painted, or we can offer you just plain models. Call us for all the spooky details. Now we've just about wrapped it up for this version of how to create your own haunted house. But before we go, we have a special guest to visit with us today. We have Professor Nightmare. Over there in Boston, Massachusetts, he has one of the most awesome haunted attractions in Salem, Massachusetts. Take it away, Professor.
Hello, Larry. I call this one the Guardian. We're going to show you and your viewers how to make this custom prop for their haunted attractions. You need only a few things: a coffin, plywood will do, some chicken wire, burlap, lightweight joint compound, some black paint and paintbrush, of course, a stapler, and any old mask or skull. Ready to get to work? Let's get to it. Okay, Start by taking your wooden coffin and lying it down on the floor. It's much easier to work this way. Next, cut some chicken wire to form a body shape, as shown. Roll up some more chicken wire for arms and feet, and staple the edges to the coffin. Now you're ready. Attach the skull and then the burlap. Keep stapling the edges. Stand your creature up . Next, mix 2 gallons of lightweight joint compound with enough black paint to turn it dark gray. It will eventually dry 2 shades lighter. And begin applying the joint compound. Once totally coated, let it dry overnight and paint it to your liking. They look really spooky, and only you'll know what they're made of. Good luck.
You can reach Professor Nightmare at Boneyard Productions, area code 508-757-7040. The Professor has his own series of how to create your own haunted house tapes. Give him a call.
We once again want to thank the Professor Nightmare for showing us some very unique ways to make a zombie. Now, we hope this tape has given you something extra to think about before you start constructing your haunted attraction next season. Keep in mind, the things that we've said here today is what we truly believe, but they may not be the best things for you to do. That's for you to decide.
Once again, thank you for joining us for How to Create Your Own Haunted House, Part 3. Next year, look for How to Create Your Own Haunted House, Part 4. You are seeing scenes from the Darkness Haunted Theme Park that is set to open this September of 1997. You will experience all the themed attractions inside of the Darkness Haunted Theme Park, and then you will walk into an old abandoned hotel where you will see a pre-show, and then you will walk through some maze of the hotel, and then you will board an elevator which will transport you into 4 different themes within the house. The first theme is an alien encounter. The second theme is medieval times. The third theme is an old haunted mansion. The fourth theme is the haunted asylum, and then you will be portaled back into the hotel, which actually is a retail shop. If you'd like to visit us here at the Darkness Haunted Theme Park next season, we'll be open September through October. You can call us at 314-241-3456 for all the haunting details. Once again, thank you from Halloween Productions. Until next time, happy haunting.
hope you had a great time watching that video. Like I said, that movie was from 1999. Remembering these videos now, and I'm going to be making a reel of darkness through the years, like to get from where it started to where it is today. And that's really cool that we have all this footage sitting on it. But we have a lot more retro videos coming, so make sure you like and subscribe to the page. We're going to be putting out new content as well, tours of current haunted houses. So come right here to the Hauntworld YouTube page to get the best information about the haunted house industry. All right, until next time, happy haunting.
For scary videos and more, subscribe to our YouTube page, Hauntworld.com.